Hello everyone, welcome to the Japan Dota Cup, and we have today Kirbies versus Get2High.int. Basically, to be accepted in this tournament, you must be living in Japan. So all the players are either Japanese or they at least live in Japan. So this is the round of 16. This tournament is 14 Japanese teams in total, and I'm just gonna lower the sound a little bit because I'm just not hearing anything with that. Sorry about that. Haven't been casting for a while, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting to be casting again because I don't really have the time anymore and I'm not so good of a caster myself. The thing is, Mendo, who is the organizer, was actually tracked me down because I lived in Japan for quite a time, and he asked me if I could provide a cast in English, so I happily obliged because I had some time. And I'm very happy to help the development of the Japanese Dota 2 scene, since MOBAs aren't really that well, they aren't that popular in Japan, and not really because it's a MOBA, more because of the fact that Japanese players are more used to playing on console and a lot less used to playing on the apologies, I'm gonna have to lower the sound again because I just absolutely alright, yeah, the announcer is just what the announcer is very loud, and I'm not really sure what I should lower for that. Alright, so that should be okay now. So yeah, as I was saying, one thing you have to understand about Japan is that the players over there are really console players more than computer players. And usually if you say that you are a computer player in Japan, it kind of means that you're into, aero games, visual novels, all that kind of shit. So when I lived in Japan, I had a lot of people in the university that said that they were playing video games, but if you actually ask them about the very popular computer games of the moment, like Skyrim, Battlefield, all these names, they were really confused because usually if the game didn't have a console version, they didn't really know about it. So okay, enough talking about Japan. We're gonna be talking about the teams a little bit. So Team Kirbies, Get2High, of course those are teams that I personally don't know at all. And probably the entire 14 teams of this tournament, I have no clue who they are, because you have to remember that those are amateur teams and that they really play for the fun of it, as well as, yeah, the tournament has a secret prize pool. So it's not going to be money, and I promised the organizer that I wouldn't spill the beans on that one, so I'm not going to say it. Basically, it's a secret prize pool that's not going to come in immediately after the team's victory. But they will be expecting some very cool stuff later on. So on the Team Kirby side, we have Lily, Sakiryu, Gardenia, Fina, and Nonosha. And on the Get2High team, we have Masafumi, we have Rogobusaiku, Kuga, Eri, and Tamax. So as we can see already with the picks, these are not your very typical picks. We had a Viper, Visage first pick with a Viper first pick for Team Kirby's, and then Treant Protector and Timbersaw for Get2High with a Treant ban as well as an Ancient Apparition ban, and on the other side a Lycan and a Mirana ban with now a Disruptor ban. So we have to see what these teams are going to be playing with. At lower levels, it's a lot less about having the adapting to the meta game and the enemy team and everything, and it's way more about your own execution, about how your teammates and you are going to play together, the strategies you actually have rehearsed or practiced, and it's less about countering the enemy team than just executing your own strategy in the best way possible. So we have a Dazzle ban as well for Team Kirby's, who have a very cool logo, I should say. Like it's a nice little Kirby, very cute little one. And Get2High, well, since it's int, I'm pretty sure that there's probably a couple of Gaijin in the team. Gaijin meaning basically foreigners for Japanese people. So you also have to remember that there is a Japanese stream and Japanese casters, and I heavily invite you to actually listen to them if you're really interested into Japanese. Even if you don't really understand a lot of what they say, they have a lot of energy. It's kind of like the Korean casters. They're very excited to bring the Dota 2 games to the Japanese community. And as I saw, there has been some work towards that. There has been a Japanese sort of league that formed up, a Japan Dota, I think. It's a Steam group on Dota 2 on Steam, and if you're Japanese, you can join. Unfortunately, it seems like, at least at the time where I was playing in Japan, so 1 year ago, they didn't accept foreigners, so you pretty much have to speak flawless Japanese because people expect you to communicate with them, of course. It would be like, current Russian players coming into Europe and not speaking a word of English, and then people raging at them because they can't understand anything. And it's just that, yeah, you have to respect their choice. If they don't want anyone who doesn't speak Japanese to play with them, we can understand that they want to get better and they need people who can communicate to get better. So those games are usually streamed, but not on Twitch. Unfortunately, they have a different streaming platform in Japan that's pretty popular. I do not really remember the name, so I can't really tell you what it is. But in any case, Japanese Dota 2 scene is picking up steam a little bit. It's still not here. We're probably not going to see a Japanese team next year in TI or even in like international tournaments, but who knows, maybe in 2 years, 3 years, we may have a kind of like upcoming wave a la South Korea. But then again, keep in mind that the computer scene is very limited in Japan, so let's not have too high hopes here. So Team Kirbies have decided to ban out the Dazzle and the Brewmaster and picked up an Abaddon. And Get2High right now have banned the Tidehunter as well as the Disruptor and are going to be picking the Storm Spirit. So as we can see, Team Kirbies right now have a lot of survivability. They have Abaddon as well as Treant, who make for a pretty awful offensive tri-lane or killing tri-lane. The thing is, Treant and Abaddon are very, very good at saving up people. So basically, if you have someone like Viper dishing out damage, and you have Treant Protector, protecting Viper, as well as Abaddon shielding Viper, you can be sure that Viper is probably not going to go down very, very easily. Treant Protector, the main problem of this hero is that his damage output is very low. His ultimate doesn't deal any damage, and his invisibility is kind of subpar at the moment compared to other skills in Dota. Usually people just think it's a very bad spell all around. You can use it to good efficiency by trying to gank someone by making your team entirely invisible, or just pop out of nowhere and pop an overgrowth. But overall, it's still not that great. And Treant Protector needs his mana for his auto spells. He will not be leveling up that Nature's Guise very early. So we will have, usually Leech Seed as well as the Living Armor prioritized. So in the early game, Treant Protector can still dish out a lot of damage because the Leech Seed plus his right click really hurt. Treant Protector has the highest base damage, and his punch is like 80 damage level 1 or something. And as if he gets like a boots first and finds someone alone in a jungle and the enemy doesn't have any kind of escape or slow, Treant Protector can 1v1 anyone. Like, he can kill anyone by just punching him to death. And we have seen that in competitive games with a Treant Protector catching like a poor support, like say a Dazzle at level 1, and Dazzle just get punched to death because Treant Protector has boots and Dazzle doesn't. So that's kind of sad, but then again, the problem is Treant Protector in the later stages of the game doesn't deal any damage, and the Overgrowth is pretty much good for helping your allies get some space in the team fight, because it blocks the enemy heroes, it blocks them from attacking, but they can still use spells. So Storm Spirit, for example, if he gets Overgrowth, you're just gonna zip away and no problem. Timbersaw, he can still dish out his enormous amount of pure damage due to his spells. And same with Enigma. If you get too close to his team, even if he's Overgrowth, you can just use Black Hole and just like screw you guys. In any case, we have a Morphling and Enigma now popped for both teams. Morphling being the hard carry for Team Kirbies, and who's already a very hard to kill carry, but with the addition of Abaddon and Treant Protector, Morphling would be almost impossible to kill unless he's very far away from everyone and he has spent all his mana. On the other side, Visage, Enigma, Timbersaw, and Storm Spirit. Timbersaw has an enormous amount of pure damage with the Chakram, with the Whirling Death, as well as the Timber Chain. So he will be able to burst down heroes like Viper very easily, because Viper is super squishy. The only saving grace is that he has his Corrosive Skin to reduce the magic damage by a little bit, but if you focus him down with pure damage, he's gonna die immediately. Storm Spirit, he's going to be able to, go from far away and disable people with the zip into the Electric Vortex, so it's very good for setting up kills. Storm Spirit zipping in and then Timbersaw coming afterwards with the Timber Chain from far away. Visage also has a lot of damage, and Outward Devourer. So this is a pretty... Actually, this is pretty surprising because I expected Storm to be in the middle lane, but it seems like it's going to be OD in the middle lane, and I don't really know. I think it's going to be Dragon Knight in the middle lane and Morphling in maybe an aggressive tri lane with Viper solo. It's kind of weird right now, so we'll have to see how it goes. Let's see. On the Dire side, we have Gardenia on the Viper, Nonosha on the Morphling, Sekiryu going to be playing the Treant Protector, and Lily going to be playing the Dragon Knight with Fina on the Abaddon, buying a lot of wards and being pretty much naked at that point. On the bottom side for G2H, we have Eri on the OD, we have Rogobusaiku on the Visage, Kuga going to be playing the Enigma, and Masafumi going to be playing the Storm Spirit with Tamax on the Timbersaw. So for the Radiant side, it's pretty much given. We have OD on the middle lane, we have Storm on the safe lane with the support Visage, and we have a solo off-lane Timbersaw with the jungle Enigma. On the Dire side, we have a aggressive tri-lane Viper, Treant, as well as Abaddon, and we have a solo mid Dragon Knight with a Morphling solo top, with Morphling having a lot of tangos. Morphling is going to be a little bit fine in the early game because Timbersaw is very aggressive, very annoying to play against when you're a melee hero. But when you're a range hero, it's kind of okay, although the problem is Morphling has a very low range, 350. So if Timbersaw plays well, he can absolutely crush the Morphling because his damage output is insane, as I said. And Morphling, without any support, he will not be able to harass the Timbersaw out of lane because of the reactive armor. He will not be able to dish out enough damage to push Timberlane away without taking himself too much damage. Wait, I'm just gonna set up a little bit of the video, also make it lag, so I'm just gonna take out some of the... There's fog, animate portrait, there we go, we should do that, and I hope it's gonna be going a little bit better now. I think I'm not at 60 FPS right now. So, middle lane is going to be Dragon Knight getting normally crushed by OD. OD in this matchup just poops on everyone. He's a very strong lane dominator in the middle lane. And on the bottom lane, Storm Spirit normally should be able to farm, as he is rage. He has a lot of range, and he should be okay. The thing is, they're probably not going to be able to kill anyone there with the Visage and Storm Spirit, because Visage has a lot of damage, but Storm Spirit must be in close melee range to use the static remnants. And with the amount of protection the Abaddon plus Treant Protectors offer, yeah, the damage not going to be enough. So let's see the last hit denies. We see that, well, of course Enigma is just jungling, so he's going to be farming very well. Viper is also getting a lot of last hits. We have the Morphling on top lane doing very well as well. And after that we have OD in the middle lane, and it seems like OD is not having as good of a time as I expected. He lost a lot of HP, and Dragon Knight is also getting a lot of farm right now. He's at 4-1, 5-1, 5-0 now, and OD is not getting the amount of denies you would expect from a good OD player. Then again, remember that those are amateur players, so we have to keep in mind that it's probably not going to be a 4-minute Midas into 7-minute Blink or whatever on heroes. It's like you have to remember that, oh, actually Dragon Knight is going very aggro on the OD, and he's not very afraid because although he can't use his spells, his right click still pretty much hurt. He has 7 armor, so the right clicks of OD don't deal that much damage to him. And he also has the Dragon Blood to regen afterwards. We see a little bit of damage getting put on Viper. At the moment, it's probably going to be a very passive game. As I said, the middle lane, Dragon Knight is not going to be very easy to kill, and Dragon Knight is probably not going to be able to kill OD. On the top lane, until level 5-6, Morphling should be okay. And on the bottom lane, the Dire side shouldn't be dying with all the shield, the heal, and the armor that they have. The Storm Spirit can easily die if he's not too careful with the slow and the Leech Seed, but normally the Visage with the Grave Shield should be able to save him from a bad engagement. So I really think the kills might be coming first on the top lane if Morphling is not careful, as Timbersaw can just burst him down very quickly. And we'll have to keep an eye on this Enigma just farming in jungle. This is pretty much going to be where the kill is going to happen, is probably where Enigma is going to decide to gank. So it's going to be a very passive early game, as I said. It's going to be farm on both sides. Whoa, yeah, we see a Storm Spirit taking a lot of damage here. Visage just slowing down Viper a little bit. It's a little bit late, but Storm Spirits is in any case going to be okay. We have wards there protecting the bottom side from Enigma gank, and Enigma is going to be spotted if he goes in, and actually he is spotted. So what is he doing right now? Okay, he's just gonna farm there. Oh, bring the Eidolons. Viper is actually pretty far, and Enigma has to be careful. Enigma doesn't have a lot of HP, and he's probably gonna die there. Oh no, yeah, the Enigma goes down. The Treant is gonna die as an exchange here. Storm Spirit still takes a lot of damage, but the Eidolons really hurt at that point of the game, so Viper can't follow up the Storm Spirit's first blood going the way of Kirbies, and trading the Treant Protector for jungle Enigma is not that bad. Eri is going to get the haste rune and go back to the middle lane to keep on harassing and farming. 18-6 to 13-3, so the gap is starting to widen a little bit, which is what we should see from an OD. As far as the mid game and late game goes, we have actually this is a very mid game oriented lineup, because Storm Spirit really start to roll out of control when he gets his BKB and Orchid or Sheepstick. But in the later stages of the game, doesn't carry as hard as, let's say, Morphling. And same for OD. OD just shot a huge amount of damage, but as soon as you get BKB, his damage output is reduced by a ton. So he really hurts when it's the middle game, and the late game, usually you are able to burst him down pretty quickly while you're in BKB. Bottom lane, it seems like they might want to go on someone. Storm is actually going to get slowed, and it's a pose from OD. Alright. Oh, okay, so he DC'd. Timbersaw also deals a lot of damage in the mid game with all his nukes, but items are not going to improve his damage output, only his survivability. Of course, Timbersaw is still scary. I mean, when I say mid game oriented lineup, I mean Storm Spirit, Timbersaw, and OD are still extremely scary in the late game, but not as much as a Morphling. The thing is, for Kirbies, the Dragon Knight is good as a semi-carry slash carry in the late game, is actually okay. The Frost Dragon actually deals a lot of AoE damage, so he can really destroy a lot of damage, but he is very ulti dependent. So if he doesn't have his ultimate, he's not going to be able to do much in the team fights. And Viper is not that good of a late game carry as well. And the problem is Treant Protector as well as Abaddon, they don't do any damage in the late game. They don't do any damage. Well, I mean, the shield and the heal are flat values, which mean that the later you go into the game and the less it's actually going to matter. The heal isn't going to heal that much. The shield is going to shield that much, although the shield takes away the debuffs and the stuns. So this is still something very important that you have to keep in mind. If someone is getting Vortex by Storm Spirit, maybe, I'm not really sure, I think the Apothec Shield actually takes away the Vortex. So it's still going to be nice to save allies, but the problem is he's still a melee support, and if he doesn't have that much items, the only thing that he's going to be useful in the late game is going to be a heal and a shield, and then pretty much stand there with bar time without being able to do much. So if he gets farmed, he will be able to get a lot of very powerful items. The Aghanim right now is very good on Abaddon because it redirects the damage. Well, you don't really see the item on Abaddon, but if you manage to get it, it's actually quite good because the damage you deal to Abaddon's team will be redirected to him in a for a certain amount. I think it's 20%. So top lane, we see that Timbersaw has his arcane boots, so at this time he can start to really harass Morphling very easily. Morphling is running out of the consumables, but he's actually sitting at the top of the last hit deny chart, so he's doing very well. Viper is also doing very well when you compare that to Storm Spirit, who is actually getting crushed 6-1, and the Treant Protector has 25 denies. So Treant Protector is really hurting that lane by just denying every creep that he can. Storm is not even level 6 yet, and that's very bad for this lane on the bottom lane here for G2H. G2H basically right now the only saving race is going to be their OD and their Timbersaw. The Enigma is not doing so much at the moment. It looks like he's rushing a Blink Dagger. He used the smoke, trying to bypass any ward that there is, but I think since the timer is already after 7 minutes, it's very unlikely that they have wards unless they warded again, and I'm not really sure what Enigma is looking to do here because their damage output is too low. And not only that, but Storm Spirit has... What is Storm Spirit doing? Okay, Storm Spirit is dead now. That's a dead Storm Spirit. And now Treant Protector is going to die in exchange. That doesn't really matter. Viper is going in pretty deep, but Enigma already used the stun. So there's no problem here. Enigma, I don't think forcing the movement here on the bottom lane was right because, as I said, Storm had very low HP already. OD is just gonna... Is just gonna imprison this Dragon Knight if he actually comes to get the rune. So Dragon Knight knows he can't really do much. He's just gonna go back in the mid lane to farm some more. We have a Blink Dagger picked up on Enigma, and he's gonna have to start doing a lot of work here because the problem is, as I said, their damage output is not that great. So maybe they can kill one, but afterwards, Enigma has to be careful. A double slow might spell his doom, but he has a Blink Dagger, so he's going to be able to just blink away. Top lane, Timex has maxed out Timber Chain and not World and Death, so he has a lot of mobility now, a lot of range. Chakram can be used to harass. We see Enigma still standing a little bit close on the bottom lane. We have two wards, so both the teams know that the Enigma... Well, both the teams are aware of what can be coming through the jungle. I'm really surprised that Morphling is still not getting pushed out of the lane. The Timbersaw normally, if he's played well, he can really harass Morphling out of the lane, especially since Morphling is out of consumables. He is deciding to rush up an ultimate orb, which is very surprising. It looks to be probably sorry, what's the name? Lincoln Sphere. The Lincoln Sphere on the Morphling. But usually when you rush out a Lincoln Sphere, you still want to have some stats items like a Power Tread or... you never really see Morphling rushing an ultimate orb because it doesn't offer that much. 10 stats for 2,300 gold is absolutely horrible in terms of cost efficiency. If you buy like 5 GG branches, it costs you 250 gold, and it is the equivalent of a half of a ultimate orb. So I don't see the point of rushing ultimate orb unless you're like worried of not being able to farm 2.3k gold in the later stages of the game. But then again, I really do not agree with the choice of rushing that ultimate orb after the Aquila ring. So Storm Spirit's still not level 6. He maxed up the Electric Vortex, which is a good idea considering that he's not going to be able to really dish out the damage. He's not getting the items, he's not getting the forms, he's not getting anything in that fact. So maxing up the Disable at least makes him able to zip in to get some ganks going off, and maybe snowballing out of control after that. Middle lane, we see the Enigma coming in with the OD, but the Dragon Knight is way too tanky for them to take down, and Abaddon just TP'd in case, I don't know really what. It's kind of strange. We see the Enigma is deciding to take one level in mid-deck pulse before maxing up the Malefice. It's not something we see often, considering that, okay, so they control ward there at least, so they have the ward control in this area. The mid-deck pulse, actually level 1 deals a good decent amount of damage, but not really sure it's a good idea. So he may be getting a 3-man black hole here, since Kirby's team is very often grouped up, but I'm not really sure they have the damage output to do anything there. Let's see, Enigma is still here, Visage is looking for something, and here comes the black hole. Black hole on 2, Treant Protector is going to be the focus here, and he's going to go down. Viper is also a lot of trouble, and Viper is going to die there. It seems like Abaddon just goes in, and he has to move away now. Thankfully, the Dragon Knight TPing in, even without mana, scared them away. But very, very good move here by the Enigma. They had enough damage to bring down 2, and they had the support coming up from the Timbersaw in case something happened. Timbersaw, he is kind of low on mana, but see, he still had 1 Whirling Death in case to scare the enemy away. But that also means in the meantime, Morphling is getting closer to that Lincoln Sphere. He has the Ring of Health up now. And middle lane, we see that the farm fest continues. 59, 60 creep kills to 33. So now the difference really start to pile up. It's like Lily only have half the farm of the OD. Top lane, it seems like Morphling is starting to pound on tower. Timbersaw, because he TP'd away, is a little bit late concerning the amount of experience and levels he have. This Dragon Knight is never going to get any mana for his ultimate or his Dragon Tail. It's going to be very hard to do anything if he stays there and keep on getting astraled. Right now he has 2 intelligence and 13 mana pool. That's not even regenerating because it's like so low in intelligence. Stone Spirit, maybe looking for something here. We have nope, we don't have the Enigma anyway, so it's the Treant protecting being invisible. Visage is very low on HP, so Visage has to be careful. Viper used the ultimate on the creep. I guess that's a misclick. Or that's a new way to farm creeps, but yeah, I will assume that that's a misclick. I'm not really sure they could have killed Storm Spirit anyway. Storm has a lot of mana right now, so he can just zip away in case something goes wrong. He has a little illusion here as well to make sure that he sees any movement from the Treant. Enigma's coming in. He has no ultimate, no black hole for the moment. And he also gets spotted by the ward if the Radiant are paying attention, if the Dara are paying attention. So he's still gonna come in with his DD rune, and he's gonna find a Treant Protector. Treant is gonna get stunned. Ow, oh, that might be problematic. He's taking a lot of damage. Oh, the Apothic Shield saving him here. The Sentry Ward just barely out of range, and it allows the... Oh, actually it was their Sentry. Never mind. It was Kirby's Sentry. So 4 for 2 right now. And Get2High.int, let's see the gold per minute, not the current gold. Not really that. It's the graph. Where's the graph again? Yeah, here's the graph. Oh, I haven't been casting for a long time. So we can see that the gold is going the way of G2H favor, and same for the experience graph. Storm Spirit is now up for his power trade. We see that the Black Hole's coming again, catching up too, and this time they're gonna be going on the Viper. Viper taking a lot of damage. Viper still not dead. He's maybe turning the thing around. We have 1 Enigma going down. We have 1 Storm Spirit probably going to die there. Nope, Storm Spirit has the zip, so he can get away. It's going to be a 1-for-1, a Viper for an Enigma. Top lane, it seems like Morphling is going aggressive on Timbersaw. Timbersaw just used the Chakram, so he's fine, I think. Oop, Timbersaw is gonna try to harass some more. Chakra airballing a little bit. Has to be careful though. Morphling deals a lot of damage and he still has an Adaptive Strike. No, it looks like Morphling doesn't go in. The Adaptive Strike's only level 1. It wouldn't do enough damage. He could have just followed with a Replicate and then morphed and then just keep on right-clicking in the Timbersaw. But I guess he didn't want to take the risk as the tower is still standing here, so TPs could have come in to save up the Timbersaw and maybe turn the kill around. Dragon Knight is still getting pushed away. And with the... not this, I wanted to see the last hit denies. We still see that Morphling as well as the Viper are doing well. A lot of pings going on. We see that the OD is turning around here, coming from the river. It's going to be a zip? Nope. The ultimate from Treant Protector saving them. Dragon Knight's coming in. He has enough mana, but here comes a big OD ultimate, draining the mana away from everyone. And Dragon Knight's just getting murdered, as well as a Storm Spirit zipping again, catching up that little Viper, and Viper falls down. And they may be able to get a tower there with the Enigma. They have a... oh, they have a mech completed onto the OD. So yeah, they're feeling very confident in those team fights. Storm Spirit with the max Electric Vortex is going to be able to disable the enemies for a long time, even if he himself doesn't deal that much damage. The damage is going to be provided by the OD and by the Timbersaw at the moment. So we see one tower going down for each side. The top lane tower already taken down by Morphling, but the tier 2 tower is probably going to fall there. There is probably no way they can defend that. The Overgrowth is still not off cooldown. Oh, it looks like they might want to defend this. The Glyph is out, and the Viper is going to be taking a lot of damage here. Viper is going to get stunned, and he is getting focused down. Here comes the Overgrowth, but a little bit too late, and Treant Protector is just getting hammered away by OD. Everyone is just trying to flee now. Dragon Knight taking a lot of damage from this Visage. Now we see stun going on Morphling. Morphling is forced to just morph, like a waveform away, still taking a lot of damage. The Dragon Knight is going to fall from the Timbersaw's damage, and they are going to be going onto the tier 3 because the Kirby side, the Dire side, is just losing heroes left and right, going one after the other. Viper is getting caught off, and then the Treant Protector is getting caught off, and then the Abaddon also getting caught off. Dragon Knight also died in the end, so it's a 4 kills for 0. The Radiant side just pushing their advantage to the limits, and it seems like they are going to be able to take the tower. Storm Spirit just taking it and then zipping away. Here comes a very big black hole on 4, but lack of communication, it seems, as all the Radiant side have already moved away. They come back now. There's a mech popped out. It seems like Treant is going to die. Maybe. No, the armor is saving him. Not for long though. Storm Spirit still gets the kill. The Timbersaw taking a lot of damage. He's gonna fall as well. Dragon Knight on the front line. Morphling coming back in. The OD still very much healthy and still able to dish out a lot of damage. No, it seems like they are out for this one. So 2 for 1 here in the end. Very, very good black hole by Enigma. But the problem is his allies didn't react fast enough. And what could have been a very big catch-up again turned out to be a not so good team fight because of the fact that they took time. The Radiant side took a lot of time to react to this black hole. But very well played by Enigma. If only his allies did follow a little bit. It seems like Enigma is going to be rushing up a Aghanim Scepter, so the Midnight Pulse into the black hole is going to deal a ton of damage. For those who don't remember what the new upgraded Aghanim version of black hole is, it basically does a second Midnight Pulse when you're casting the black hole. So you basically deal double damage because this actually stacks, and at max level it will deal 14% HP per second in the black hole for 4 seconds. So a total of, I don't remember, like something like 60% of your HP. I have to see that, but so top tower falling down here. Let's see, Aghanim Scepter. Yeah, it doesn't show, but yeah, it doesn't show here. Nope. But yeah, if he manages to get it, we may see a lot of damage coming up from Enigma as well. So Dragon Knight getting harassed a little bit by this Rolling Death. Seems like they may be looking to fight that. There's still a Glyph up. The Morphling illusion is going to get killed. Treant Protector going to get sent up in the air. He was looking for an overgrowth. He was really well placed for it as well. Problem is his cast time is just horrible, so the OD saw him and just decided to use his Astral Imprisonment. A lot of TP coming up on the top lane, but the top lane tower still falls. So those TPs are actually wasted as they don't get anything in return and the tower still falls. Not even a deny. And now the middle tower is going to get hit by this little familiar with Visage. Not a lot of damage. Oh, OD might be caught up in the wrong position. It seems like no, he's fine. 3 people in the mid lane, 4 people very soon. Viper is going to get caught out of position. I'm not really sure what Viper is doing here. Viper has a mech, but Viper is going to take a lot of damage. Here comes the overgrowth. Enigma is going to get caught. He doesn't have the black hole yet, but nothing here is going to... Oh! Timbersaw just going straight in and going to get picked off. Almost! He's still not dead. He is dead now, but at the cost of a Viper and a Dragon Knight as he survived for so long. We see Enigma still going in and... Oh, he's dead now. Morphling now in a lot of trouble. He's out of mana. He will not escape this one. No, he does not. And that's a triple kill for the OD. Kirby off to a very bad start. Remember, this is a single elimination tournament, best of 1. And it looks like they may be out of this very soon. The gold graph showing up 10k gold advantage and 7.5k experience advantage. Storm Spirit is looking for a little zap here. So he will be able to catch up Abaddon. Abaddon's gonna get caught. Abaddon has his ultimate popped. And he's just gonna be sent up in the air. The ultimate just stops. And this is a very dead Abaddon. This is something I didn't talk about, but anything like a Shadow Demon Disruption or a Astral Imprisonment is really going to hurt that Abaddon because his ultimate is just going to be useless. Train Protector has the overgrowth, but he has no mana to use it right now. He needs 13 seconds. It looks like they're going to give up that tier 2 tower, and they should. At the moment, they aren't able to do anything to defend. Dragon Knight has to be very careful. I mean, Enigma could just blink in and stun him, and he may die afterwards. So this is going to be their last-ditch effort to defend. Oh, no, it looks like they're just going away. Sword Spirit just zipped half the map away to get his item. Nope, it's not even his item. It's going to be the BKB. What am I saying? Not the BKB. The Aghanim for the Visage, actually. Visage is the one getting the Aghanim. So Visage now has the Aghanim. We have Storm Spirit with his Orchid. What seemed to be a very, very bad game for Storm turned out to be actually pretty decent once he just started rolling into the fights with his max level Electric Vortex. We see that the Enigma still hasn't finished his well, actually it's Aghanim. I was going to say BKB because that's usually the more logical choice that we see. Visage has his Medallion of Courage, some dust also for this very annoying Tree and Protector. And Timbersaw has completed his Bloodstone quite a while ago. OD also had the Rod of Atos like we saw in the previous fights where he slowed down the Viper. So lots of HP, 1.5k HP on this OD. He's very hard to bring down. And of course the mech. Now he has a Mystic Staff as well. Probably going to be building that cheap stick. On the other side, Morphling is trying to get his E-Blade, which I'm not really sure I agree with because who are you going to go E-Blade on? If you try to go on the Visage, Visage has his Grave Keeper Cloak, so you still have to deal some damage before trying to pop him down. OD has the Rod of Atos, so he has a lot of HP, not even mentioning the mech that he has. Timbersaw is probably not going to be your target. And Enigma with the Point Booster and Ogre Club is going to be very tanky as well. They're trying to take down Roshan right now for the Radiant. The Dire is moving out with a smoke. That might be their only or last chance. Dragon Knight has a Drum of Charge, but no BKB, no nothing. They are trying to get in. It seems like Dragon Knight has caught up Enigma. Enigma is going to get focused down. Does he have a Black Hole? He's not going to be able to. He actually used it for 1 second, which is way enough. We see that we already have 2 people going down for the Radiant, for the Dire side, and those are unfortunately the main damage dealers. It seems like the 2 supports also will follow, and Morphling now is in a lot of trouble. He is not going to be able to escape. This is a team wipe, and probably going to be game. It seems like, yeah, they're still going to try to finish out that Roshan, but I don't see how the Dire are going to be coming back from that. It's a GG called by Lily, and very well played by Get2H, just crushing up their position. What seemed to be a not so good mid lane because the Dragon Knight was getting a lot of farm, turned up to be actually very OD dominant by the 8th to 10th minute, and they just played wonderfully, especially for that Enigma. Really nice black holes that allowed the bottom lane to come back from a very huge deficit. So thank you guys for watching. We're going to be jumping into game number 2 for the round of 8. See you guys.